welcome to Titanium Tarot's Tarot, and today I'll be doing a reading, I'll be doing a health reading for water signs, alright? So this is for any placement of water you have in your chart. If you do, great. If you don't, great as well. You probably have a message in here for you, so keep an ear out. And if you are a cross-watcher, I welcome you with open arms, because heaven knows I was a cross-watcher for many a video myself, so I get you and I got you. Now, I'll mention the decks I use as I use them. I'll also mention what is important for you to utilize your own intuition if that comes up, if and when it comes up. Now, with that being said, my gorgeous and fellow water signs, I have 4 signs in water in my chart. Now, let's get into your cards. So the first deck I use is a deck I wrote myself. I call it the Action Oracle, and it's in order to set an idea of what you'll be working on in regards to your health this month, or what you need to work on in regards to staying healthy this month. So the first card that I pulled for y'all is Have Fun Respectfully. Have fun respectfully. Now don't go chasing waterfalls. Listen to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way, nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. I'm singing that song too fast, but I don't know what the relevance was. I think I started the Don't Go, and then the song took place. Anyway, so have fun respectfully. Don't put anyone down, and just have fun. All right. Then you have set your boundaries. Right. So set the boundaries. Set your boundaries, and allow other people to have theirs, and just don't allow other people to overstep their space, Then set your boundaries and rebuild what? I have no clue, but rebuild your space, rebuild your boundaries, rebuild your infrastructure or what have you. And forgive those who know not what they do, or who aren't aware of what they're doing, Forgive them. And then forgive and head into something new. And yet again, rebuild. I don't know why I wrote this twice, but the interesting thing is the first rebuild was a 34, while the second rebuild is a 64. Yep. I just had to mention that. So as in, it just says to have fun respectfully and set your boundaries and see what needs to take place in order to rebuild what you want to accomplish in your life. Once you've built that, then you see what things are that don't really align with your current headspace. Once you realign, right, then forgive yourself or forgive others who have got you misaligned. Once you forgave that, then head into something new that will be your new focus, and that is when you rebuild. Rebuild what you need to rebuild so that you can have what it is you want to accomplish, or accomplish what it is you want to see in the world, right? Now the clarifying cards are the Emperor and the 8 of Pentacles. Now the Emperor says that you will become the boss of your life. You will be the orchestrator of everything that goes on, which is basically how everyone should live their life, but that is my own interpretation, so don't take it personally, or take it how it resonates, alright? But this might be a little ways off, meaning it's gonna take some diligent work, some dedication towards rebuilding. Notice he is building, he's crafting those pentacles. He is polishing them, he's making them beautiful. So that is what you are going to be doing. You're going to be crafting, beautifying your life. Notice there are also cobwebs on the ceiling. On the this might take some time, right? I don't think it'll be done overnight, is what I'm getting. So the first set, alright, is comprised of, so quickly move, well, the first is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords indicates quick movement towards your wanted objective. Alright, so you're quickly moving to that, which will lead you to gain strength with the strength card, which is Leo energy. And with that strength, alright, you will notice that with that strength, the first hurdle is going to come about, which is going to be something is not going to go as you planned. Right? And so you're just going to be a little mopey and dopey for a little bit of time, and then you're going to fail to see the person who is like crying for help because he's drowning, and then, as well as the bridge here that will allow you to go to a castle, as Minopond says, right? Or a village in this case. I don't know if it's a castle, but you know. So instead of complaining about your spilled wine, you could change your focus and manifest a way out of your current predicament, is what I'm getting. Now the second possibility is that you will go into like calmer waters with the Six of Swords, right? Which will start off a little, will not be the greatest because you have this fish in a super tiny cup in regards to its size. And yeah, so you're like, well, everyone's leaving me, even this fish that was presumably dead in this cup, or presumably imprisoned in this cup because it had nowhere else to go due to the fact that there was a lack of water outside of this cup. And you're like, well, it even jumped ship, so meh, I don't feel so good. Look at his face. His face is kind of like, my fish jumped out of my cup, right? Or maybe the idea that just came to mind is it's you know, Mary Poppins has like this bag that she can put anything in that bag, right? And anything would come out of it. It was like this, which reminds me of like if you've seen the Magical Beasts and Where to Find Them, the newt, the man who, like the research dude who would go around trying to find magical creatures, had like this briefcase filled with magical creatures. And so that is what came to my mind, which reminds me of Mary Poppins' bag, right? Which had no, like, in French we'd say fond, which is like no ending to it, because everything would come out of that magical purse. Yeah. And so that is another thing, but in this case, due to the fact that this King of Cups is like dumping his water out, dumping his drink out of his cup, because he's like, I don't like it, it's not for me. I'm seeing this Page of Cups more like being what came prior to this King of Cups, being pissed, being like discontent with his cup. So I feel like you built this, the Six of Swords that's leading you to shore it's such a big build up. It was like, oh my god, we're going to shore, it's gonna be so much easier, blah blah blah, and then all these bad things happen, which technically should not. Or I get it. Okay, so you build this idea up in your mind, and you're like, when I get there, I'll be able to do stuff. And you're like, yay, amazing, 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 amazing. And then you get there, and you're like, well, It's not what I thought it would be. Which indicates that you're or someone else, so the person that you're dealing with, their frame of mind was not in the right space to manifest what it was that they actually wanted. And that's why the King of Cups then is dunking his drink in the lake that he finds himself in. Which, by the way, is choppy waters. Surrounded by choppy waters. Yeah. See, there's 6 of Swords. On this side of the boat, it's choppy waters. And then on that side of the boat, it's calm waters. I don't know if you can see it. Calm waters. Right? But they are moving to shore. So it's like the end of the turbulence. In turbulence, you know, I know they don't utilize the word turbulence at sea, but excuse me, you get the idea. And notice how they've gone past the turbulence in the water and they've gone to shore, but then on shore, this Page of Cups is like behind him, the lake or the sea is covered with waves, splashing waves to a certain extent on the shore, right? So it's not calm waters. And this king is surrounded by all these bigger waves, right? Which would, because water, actually cups or water represent emotions in tarot. So the fact that this water, the water surrounding the king, is so movemented would be like an indication of why he is feeling so sad, morose, and all those things, and why he is unappreciatively dunking the contents of his cup into the lake. Very interesting. So it just goes to show that it is your headspace. Now, usually in the 6 of Wands, you're concentrated on moving to shore. So you're concentrated on what you want to create, which is shore, which is great. Then the Page, okay, being like, but my fish left me. Being kind of like the waves are kind of more rocky and they're splashing splashing on the shore. It's a little more movemented, right? So he is a little annoyed. Okay, but the king, who is surrounded by movemented water, who is surrounded by waves and stuff, he is really pissed off. He is very, very morose. I hope that's the right word. Very down in the dumps, not happy at all with the contents of his cup, and he's like, F it. I don't want this. Bye-bye. So it's all a question of where do you place your intention. See, you can also see it in the 5 of Cups, excuse me. This man is completely depressed because his 3 cups were spilled, while as he has 2 other cups behind him that are still standing and whose contents has not been spilled yet, right? Which is an interesting takeaway, because the King of Cups is like, I don't want this cup, F this cup, I'm dumping it in the water. It's very interesting. I hope that made sense to someone, because it definitely made sense to me, but the important thing is not me, but my listeners, my viewers, right? Next you have, so with the Health and Law of Attraction card deck from Esther and Jerry Hicks, I pulled no, what am I talking about? This is the Animal Spirit Oracle card. And this is the Lizard Spirit, right? And the Lizard Spirit says, dream the world into being. So, like I said, right, at the beginning, when you have a goal that you're aiming towards, that we saw in the Six of Swords, which was going towards shore, you're concentrating on only that, and you're going to shore. And when you're at shore, you're like, things start to shift, things start to change, and you start thinking of other things, not necessarily what you want to create, but you start thinking of all the baggage and all the stuff that comes along with what you're currently living. And because the Page of Cups has a pet fish who jumped ship and who's like, dude, I'm out, peace, right? And he allowed his external environment to affect the way he felt, how he felt, which is cups. Cups represent emotions, right? So he allowed what someone else did to affect his state of being, which then made him feel like the king, which turned him into the King of Cups, who is like the extent of the Six of Swords, the other extreme of the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords, you're concentrating on what you want to create and you're moving towards it, and you're at it. That's how good of a manifester you are. You are there. You are there. You are on shore, right? Now, the King of Cups, for some reason, has not gotten the memo, at least not yet, of what he actually needs to do to create what he wants to create. So he is concentrating on something that brings him, like, he is concentrating on what is cup that is not containing something he wants. So he's allowing his emotions to take the better part of him. But if he knew that all you have to do is create something else, which he could have done easily if he asked one of his staff to bring him another cup of wine with something else inside of it, this whole dilemma with all the waters being all movemented and stuff would not actually be the case. It would be more like a placid lake. I hope that made sense. So, it's just all that to say that you can bring the dream the world into being. So you create your own world every single time, and you do that through your emotions. Well, you get a sign of how close you are from your wanted objective by your emotions, is what I'm getting at. So the next card, the card from Health and the Law of Attraction card deck from Esther and Jerry Hicks that I pulled, is saying I need not compare my perfection to that of others, right? Which would kind of go in alignment with what I just read, because all you have to do, I know this is not the message on the card, but all you have to do to make your dream happen is to say that this is what I want, so bring it to me. You say that to the universe, and the universe will comply and bring it to you, right? And let me just read the back of this card. If it had been your intent to all be the same, more of you would be the same, but you are not. And so, rather than looking at yourself and acknowledging that you are lacking in this or that, or in that characteristic, look towards the advantages of that which you are. In other words, as you are assessing or analyzing your physical body, spend the greater part of your time looking for the advantages that it offers, not just to you, but to the balance of the all that is. No, to the balance of all that is, right? So instead of just thinking of yourself, it's more in alignment of what can I do to make other people around me, other people's lives better around me, so that they in turn will want to make my life better too. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask questions. It'll be my pleasure to answer. And with that being said, my gorgeous and fellow water signs, that is all that I have for you guys this week. If you like this and if you'd like me to go deeper into your specific situation, please contact me at the email in the box below, and it'll be my pleasure to assist. In that same box, you'll find a little description of this video and my price. Now, like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell to be notified when I post some stuff, as well as leaving me a comment, because I adore comments. I read them all. I may not answer all of them, but I absolutely read them all. And with that being said, my gorgeous and fellow water signs, placements in my chart, that is all that I have for you guys this week. With that, bye.